نعم إن شاء الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We are all welcome once again to another session of our Arabic fluency course. So today we look at module 4 of our grammar lesson. So in this lesson we'll look at the list of ma'rifa nouns. There are 7 types of nouns that could be regarded as ma'rifa. There are 7 types of nouns that could be regarded as al-ma'rifa, that is definite nouns. So the first one that we'll be talking about properly is what is called al-alam. Al-alam, or we say ism al-alam. It is called proper nouns. Proper nouns. So proper nouns or al-alam, they are names that are, they are nouns or basically names of people, particular names of people, names of places, countries, towns and cities. So long as it's a particular name that a place or a person or a thing is named, it is regarded as al-alam, proper nouns. And so it's not different from what is regarded as proper nouns in English. So these type of nouns, they are definite nouns. They are alam. And let's think of something here. Proper nouns or al-alam can have tanween. In this case, so long as it's a proper noun, it's a name of a person, a particular name. So it does not matter whether it has a tanween. And such a name does not necessarily have alif lam. So you not find a proper noun al-alam having an alif lam or having a tanween, or not having it. Sometimes it may have a tanween, but it's not a necessity that it has alif lam. So an example of such names, we have names like Umar, we have names like Uthman, Zaydun, and Zaydun, it has a tanween. Muhammadun is a proper noun, so it has tanween. The tanween does not matter. It doesn't stop it from being what it has to be. So names like feminine names like Fatima, Aisha, Jamila. Sometimes names like that are most times adjective, they may take tanween, Jamilatun, and that still does not make them not a ma'rifa. So Makkatu, there are also some names that do not have, that do not carry tanween. They only have just a single vowel. So when we get to, inshallah, in our Medina book, Durus al-Lugha, when we get to a certain part of it, we are going to learn اسم لا ينصرف, أسماء لا تنصرف, or we say اسم لا تنصرف, الممنوع من الصرف. There's some set of nouns or names that do not go through the three, they do not go through the 3 vowels. They do not change through the 3 vowels. That is, they do not take Dhamma, take Fatha, and take Kasra all at the same time. They only take 2. They take Dhamma and Fatha. They don't take Kasra. So there are some proper nouns like that. So we will talk a little bit about them, now. But when we get there, we'll talk a lot about them when we get to their position. Now, so for example, the word Fatima. Fatima too. You don't say Fatima tun. Names like these don't have tanween. Fatima too, Aisha too, right? Amina too, and lots, Zainabu, and other than and so on and so forth. So most feminine names that are 4-letter words, 4-letter words and above, they are usually mamnu' min as-sarf. Okay, So they only take single vowel. They take Dhamma and Fatha, but they don't take Kasra. So, and that's why sometimes you'll find an Aishata. An Aishata. Okay, so you know say you know here an Aishati, especially during narration of hadith. So we'll talk a lot about that. So these are what is proper noun. So these are what is possible with your proper nouns, especially when it is a feminine proper nouns. So Umaru is also one of them. It's also one of the names that do not that mamnu min as-sarf. They will call them deep taught. And Umar ibn Khattab, and Umar ibn Khattab. You will not hear an Umar ibn Khattab. You know here Umari and Umara. So Umaru, Umara. Okay, so now names like Zaydun, yes, you have Zaydin. Names like Muhammadun, you have Muhammadin. Now I'm just briefing, their situation when it comes to I'rab, when it comes to taking fatha and taking dhamma and all of that. Now we have names that are foreign names. Nigeria is not, Arabic name, so we just Arabize it. Okay, so we say names like these are they are mu'arrabah, asma'un mu'arrabah, names that are Arabized. The same way that we Anglophonize some name. Anglophonizing some names that are not English names, you Anglophonize them, you're bringing that into English. So the same way we Arabize some names as well. So now all of these names, they are proper nouns. So now let's look at examples. So we've seen some example: Umar, Fatima, Zaid, Makkatu, Nigeria, London, Pakistan, and so on and so forth. All of these names are proper nouns, and they are ma'rifah. That's the point. So Nigeria, balad. Nigeria is a country. Makkatu jamilatun. Makkatu jamila. So I think we have talked about Jumla Ismiyya, right? If not, we'll talk about them. Jumla Ismiyya, nominal sentence. It's where you have your subject and predicate. So Makkatu jamilatun. Makkah is beautiful. So that's an expression. So we say Umaru talibun. Umaru, not Umarun in this case. Umaru, Umar talib. Umar is a student. Okay, so we use them in a sentence in this way. Now, let's come to another type of ma'rifah. Please, are we following, please? Are we following? I need some responses so that at least you know that.
Yes.
Okay, mashallah. Now, number 2, the second type of ma'rifah is al-dhamir, or say dhama'ir, the plural of dhamir, pronouns. What we regard as pronouns, anyways, they are dhamir, they are also pronouns, but they are categorized under, al-ma'rifah. Pronouns, personal pronouns, all of them are ma'rifah. So, and in fact, of course, pronouns in English are also definite. They're definite. Personal pronouns and, first person, second person, third person, all of these. We have the similar thing in Arabic. So let's look at the pronouns in Arabic. So we have singular pronouns. So we call these Dama'ir al-Mufrad. Dama'ir al-Mufrad, singular pronouns. And we all know all of that. Huwa, hiya, ana, anta, anti. So this is the first person. This is singular pronouns. He, huwa, hiya, ana, anta, anti. It comprises the first person, second person, and of course, the third person. Okay, so this is a pronoun. We'll not take too long. I think everyone knows all of this. Now, if this is understood, let's look at the dual pronouns. The ma'iru tathniyah. We have the nahnu. Okay, Nahnu, we, that's a plural. Antuma, huma. This nahnu is the first person, antuma second person, and huma third person. This is dual pronouns. Okay, so that's understood. Let's look at the plural pronouns. The plural pronouns. Nahnu, for the first person, nahnu. So we understand that plurals, okay, starts from 3 in Arabic. And in this case, the scholars of Arabic, the Kufiyun, we have the Arabic scholars of Kufa, the Arabic scholars of Basra. So we call them Kufiyun and Basriyun. Basra and Kufa. So they all agree. They are the major, we have many Arabian scholars, Arabic scholars. We have the Hijazi. We have the Kufa, the Basra, and some other ones that communicate or that give rules of Arabic. They discuss these things. So things that the Kufiyun and the Basriyun agreed upon, the opinions of other scholars in other cities are not very heavy. So they are not regarded. So the Kufiyun and Basriyun, they agreed that plural begins from 3 in Arabic. So that's why we have dual. Okay, you have mufrad, you have dual, and you have, plural. Plural start from 3. This is based on agreement, from the agreement of the Kufiyun and the Basriyun. But some of them like Hijaziyun, the Hijazi, some of them like Hijazi, I think, and some other than that, they said plural start from 2. They agree that plural start from 2, like the English language. So those people, if you advance in some Arabic grammar, you would see expressions like, for example, okay, we're going to talk about that anyways, but I think everyone here should understand what I'm about to say. So if you say جاء المسلمون, okay, جاء المسلمون, okay, so the verb here is singular. Okay, so use جاء المسلمون, جاء المسلم, جاء المسلماني. Now those who believe that plural starts from 2, okay, so they would say they would add alif of 2 people here, even though when they are regarding or referring to plural. So they'll say Ja'a al-Muslimun. You may not necessarily understand what I'm trying to say here, but let me make it a bit clearer. When you have your verbs, you must denote when you are talking about plurals. Okay, let me put it this way. When you're talking about singular, plurals, and all of that, it must reflect in your verb, especially when they are coming from. So let's say al-Muslimani. We know how to form plurals, dual. Now we say al-Muslimani. So I want to say the 2 Muslim came. So the 2 Muslim came. So I would say ja'a. So I need to add this alif to show that I'm talking about 2 people. Al-Muslimani, the same alif that I had here to make it dual. I have to add the same alif to the verb. Al-Muslimani ja'a. So for those who said 2 is plural as well, so they will say the same thing has al-Muslimuna. The same thing al-Muslimuna ja'a. They will still say ja'a. Or they say ja'a al-Muslimun. So they believe that 2 is a plural. So they believe that. So why am I discussing this? Is just for you to have some knowledge, a broad knowledge about when it comes to number. So what are the opinions of these Arabic scholars? But the most official, the most common, the most agreed upon is that plural start from 3. So in everything you say, in every expression that you use, when you are talking about two people, you must discuss them separately, not combine. So because two is not plural. So three start from, plural start from three. So that is what we need to understand. That's why everything here has its dual. It has a singular, it has a dual, it has a plural. So now talking about, let's go back to the plural now. So for plural pronouns, nahnu is plural for we. It's same for we, when two people are talking about themselves, nahnu. So whom is the masculine plural, hunna the feminine plural, antum that's masculine, antunna is feminine plural, for the second person, al-mukhatab. Now these are the plurals that we have. Okay, the pronouns that we have in their singular form, in their dual form, and of course their plural form. Now if this is understood, so let's move on. So we have seen the plurals, the pronouns that we have. Let's take note of that. Now let's talk a little bit about the type of pronouns that we have with respect to their position in sentences, for sentence formation. We have the pronoun that is called subjective or nominative pronouns. We call these ضمائر الرفع. What do we call these? ضمائر الرفع. Can someone repeat this? ضمائر الرفع. Yes, ضمائر الرفع. Need someone to say some. Are we following, please? I need some response so that I know, yes, have audience, listening. Please, are we following? I need responses. ضمائر الرفع. Can someone say that?
ضمائر الرفع.
Yes, thank you for following. So please, I want to believe everyone is also following, because we need to know that we are all okay. Good.
Yes.
Good. Okay, so now if that is taken, now ضمائر الرفع, we call them subjective or nominative pronouns. So why do we call them this term? Okay, so we'll come to that. Now we said that this particular type of pronouns, they are called, we can call them الضمائر المنفصلة. الضمائر المنفصلة. So ضمائر الرفع, nominative pronouns or subjective pronouns, they are called ضمائر المنفصلة. Let's take note of these points. They are terminologies that we need to know, because this is grammar. So when we're talking about grammar, there are things that you need to take note of. So الضمائر المنفصلة. What do we mean by that? They are pronouns that can stand on their own. They don't attach. They stand on their own. And we call them subjective or nominative pronouns because they can stand as a subject in a sentence, in a jumla ismiya. They can stand as al-mubtada. Okay, and they can stand as a fa'il. Yes, they can stand as a fa'il, the doer in a jumla fi'liya. So if that is taken, most of the verbs, the pronouns that we mentioned above, huwa, hiya, anta, anti, antuma, antuma, antum, okay, hum, hunna, and nahnu, all of these, they are ضمائر الرفع. They are, ضمائر المنفصلة. So let's look at them in sentence now. So for the singular, say ana Muslim. Ana Muslim. Ana Muslim is a pronoun. Ana is a pronoun there, and is happening in a jumla ismiya. Is occurring in a jumla ismiya. Okay, so ana is mubtada. The Muslim is khabar, so it's standing on its own. It is serving as a mubtada, so it's ضمائر الرفع. So we say أنا مبني على السكون في محل رفع. So it is in a position of being رفع. So أنا مسلمة, the same thing for feminine. أنت جميل, أنت جميلة. هو طالب, هي طالبة. هو مفتاح. Yes, هو مفتاح. هو can also be used to regard to a neuter gender. Also, you're talking about non-living things or animals. So it translates to it in this case. So you're talking about هو مفتاح. So if I say ما هذا في يدك, ما هذا في يدك, what is that in your hand? So you say هو مفتاح, it is a key. So it is what we're talking about here. So she's a student. هي طالبة. Yes, because we're talking about human being. Okay. Or we're talking about rational human being. So هي طالبة. She's a student. And هي سيارة. It is a car. In this case, it is a car because you are talking about irrational being. Now let's look at when it is dual pronouns. Okay. هما طالبان. Two of them, they are student. Okay. هما طالبتان. Okay. هما دولابان. We mentioned that dulab can mean wheels. Okay. I think we from that seminar I gave, we found it plural. Dulab, dawalib. Is that right? Okay. So dulab can mean wheels. Okay. And ajala can also mean wheels. Ajala. Okay. Can also mean wheels. Now, dulab, this same dulab can mean cupboard, can mean wardrobe. So, and another word for wardrobe, what is the main word for wardrobe or cupboard? We can remember that. Yes.
خزانتي.
Khizanatun. Barakallahu fiqh. Khizanatun. So khizana is the main word, but dulab can have two meanings. So you can use it, depending on the context that you're talking about. Before we move on here, from the last lesson, we have our glossaries of nouns, which is supposed to be.
What do you say? Sorry, please. What do you say is the plural of dulab?
Yeah, dulab, dawalib. Yeah, I think you had it in the what's it called? Assignment. Did you do it? Did you do the assignment that I asked you to do regarding the glossary of nouns? Yeah, where you have to find the plural.
Yes, what we have was Kazai.
Okay, we do not have dulab, right? Okay, so I thought we have that. Yeah, khizana, khazain. So for dulab, okay? So you're gonna have dawalib, mafa'il, dawalib. Okay, so this word as well, from a glossary of nouns, we said it can mean cupboard. It can also mean, wheels. Okay, wheel. If that is taken, so we now, so please let's take note of these glossary of nouns 16 to 20. 16 to 20. موقف سيارة, that's a park. Okay, station, محطة. Hostel, second. Hostel can mean second. So there's another word for hostel other than second. So please let's look for it. Let's look for it. Yeah. So let's take that as an assignment. Let's look for another word for hostel instead of second. Or mostly the common word. There's a word that is most common. So second is also like that. It's also host in a hostel. And so we can regard people in the hostel as sukkan. Okay, so but inshallah, this is all these things are why we do the composition of books, so that you can learn some contemporary words, things that you don't necessarily have to start thinking about how to say them. when you get into conversation with people or when you have people say it. Okay, so there are things that you know, but you may not necessarily know that it can also be used for what you are looking for. So, and this is why speaking, some people, you have people who spend 6 years going to madrasa, the normal madrasa, and they find it difficult to express themselves in normal Arabic. They can read any book and they can translate it, but they don't. They fail in communication. They cannot communicate in Arabic because most of the things they know is their knowledge is book knowledge, not the contemporary knowledge, not the conversational Arabic knowledge. They are two different things. So what we are learning majorly is a conversational Arabic knowledge, but it will help you to translate any book. You can take any book and understand it. So you are now a hedge over any other ones, any other people, any other stars around there. So communication is very important. If you like spend 20 years in madrasa and you find yourself in not being able to communicate with the contemporary Arabic word, daily use, things that you so I mean you look fool in front of people and then they would doubt whether you've been to madrasa at all because what you know is what you have in the book. You can only translate books and tell us the meaning. You cannot use some of the words that with other things that you see around you. And this is what language is all about. Now let's come back to learning now. So second, please let's look for another word for hostel. This is one of them. Second. Now we have delwin, bucket or pail. Please let's look for we have sleeper, shib. Shib is sleepers. So please let's look for the plural of this from 16 to 20. I'm going to write it in the group, but take note of it. You look for the plural of these words. Okay, the plural of these words is very important. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on now. It's just so please let's take note of that. We've taken the grammar. We've taken the glossary of noun too from 16 to 20. So if I bring it out in an exam or something like that, so you should not say that you've not learned it. So let's try to look for the plural as well. Okay, so we move on now. Okay, so we have, where are we? Okay, so huma dulaban, that's what we're talking about. There are two wheels. And tuma rojulan. Take note. Who's going to tell me they are two cupboards? They are two cupboards. This time around, I want you to use khizana. Yeah, there are two cupboards.
هناك إذا خزانتان.
No, it's not. You don't say hunak. I'm not saying hunaka means there are. I'm saying they. You want to say, if I say mahuma, what are they? So you want to respond to me, you want to say they are two cupboards or two wardrobes. So how do you put that?
Okay, huma خزانتان.
Barakallahu fiqh. Huma khizanatan. We only have our sisters talking things. Brothers, please, let's ensure that we communicate. I mean, let's try to cultivate the habit of contributing. You say something. You learn. And it's from saying it that you improve, you get the confidence. You make mistakes and you move on. That's how to do it. Okay, so please, it's the way it has to be done. Okay, so we have antuma rajulan. So we are moving on. There are two men. You are two men. Antuma rajulan. So take note, huma for both male and feminine. Masculine and feminine. It doesn't change. Okay, it doesn't change. So antuma imra'atan. أنتما امرأتان أنتما امرأتان أنتما رجلان أنتما for both male and female نحن مسلمان نحن مسلمان. Okay, both male and female will say the same thing. So that's the way it works. Okay. Now let's look at the example for plurals. هم مسلمون هن مسلمان. Okay. أنتم مسلمون أنتم معلمون أنتن معلمات. نحن مسرورون نحن مسرورون. We are happy. So what's another way to say we are happy? Okay, let's start from the singular. What's the way to say I'm happy? Other than using masroor. Masroor is another word. But what's another word to say I'm happy?
أنا سعيد.
Yeah, yes, and a Sa'id. Sa'id is one of the words that people use, to mean I'm happy. Okay, now who's gonna say we are happy for two people? We are happy. Two people, please. Let's go.
Sorry, using
Yeah, we are happy. We are happy, and we are talking about two people. Two people are talking about the fact that they are happy.
okay. نحن سعيدان.
Yeah, نحن سعيدان. نحن سعيدان. بارك الله فيك. So who's going to give it a shot for the plural? Masculine. The masculine plural. This time around, men should answer that. Yes, yes. Plural. What's the plural of Sa'id? Ana Sa'id. Okay, no idea? Okay, anyone from the feminine, from the females, can you answer that? We are happy for the masculine. Okay, so that's an assignment.
نحن سعيدون.
Okay, نحن سعيدون. Okay, that's not correct. For Sa'id, you don't use Jamu Salim. You use a broken plural, Jamu Taksir. Okay, so but let's look for it. There's an assignment. Let's look for the plural of that. So for female now, so let a female say I'm happy in using the word Sa'id.
أنا سعيد.
No, it's a female. You have to, a female is talking. So how's it gonna be? I'm happy as if, yeah.
أنا سعيدة.
بارك الله فيك. أنا سعيدة. I guess so أنا سعيدة, right? Sister Muqiyya, I think you tried earlier. So أنا سعيدة. You got to make it feminine. Okay. So for female, for two people now, two females saying that they are happy. Yes, please, let's respond. Two people saying that they are happy.
نحن سعيدتان.
نحن سعيدتان. نحن سعيدتان. Okay, so Sister Motia, how do you say we men, we females? A lot of us now. Plural, we are happy.
نحن سعيدون.
No, Sa'iduna is for the masculine. But for the feminine, we talked about the formation of plural for feminine and formation of plural for masculine. So both are two different things. So for female, you say نحن سعيدة. أنا سعيدة. نحن السعيدتان for two people. So how do you say we are happy for three or more women? How do you form the plural? We talked about forming the plural, sound feminine plural. How do you form a sound feminine plural? If you have Muslimatun, you say Muslimatani for two Muslims. How do you say many Muslims?
مسلمات.
Muslimatun. Yeah, so the same thing applies. So if you say Ana Sa'idatun, Nahnu Sa'idatani, so how do you say we are happy? Many women.
نحن سعيدة.
Sa'idatun is singular. Just the way you say Muslimatun. The same way you say Sa'i what?
سعيدات.
Yeah, Sa'idatun. It's as good, it's as simple as that. Sa'idatun. You just change the ta. Please, let's take note of that. Always try to, go through the lesson every time, ask questions, practice. That's the way to understand listening. It's not by magic. It's by working hard every day, every other day, thinking about it. You have to start thinking in Arabic. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a secret. The way I myself I do something. Okay, most cases we speak Arabic, but we don't have people to speak with. You understand it? It's a problem. We don't have people to speak or to communicate with in Arabic. So uh, people like us who have Arabic as a third language, okay? So you face difficulty, trying to. You've learned a lot of things, you've read a lot of books, but how do you communicate? How do you not forget grammar? How do you not, you know, be found wanting? I mean, when you are trying to communicate, how do you not lose words? How do you not forget words? So this is what I do. I start thinking in Arabic. Sometimes, most times, I start a conversation in my brain, and then I start thinking, okay, what if I get into conversation with someone? How am I supposed to say this? Okay, so if I say something in my native language, or I say something in English, I tend to translate what I said in English to Arabic. I say, okay, if I were to say this in Arabic, how am I supposed to say it? So everything is happening in my brain, in my mind. So I have already thought about it. I've thought about it. I've, regurgitated in my brain, think about it. And then if I don't know how to say it, I consult my dictionary. Because how am I supposed to say this? Yeah, I'm just giving the secret. It's no hard. It's no. You see, everyone is learning every now and then. Okay, so and this is the way I needed to do it too. Challenge yourself. Think about things you want to say. Okay, how do I say this? And so this is going to give you a hedge. And this is how we started learning too. So when you think of something, how do I say this? Put it together, write it down. Have a book that you write it down, and then you ask whether you are correct. Just the little things you've learned. Put them together. You don't have to be correct 100%. No one is saying that. But keep practicing, keep trying, keep thinking in Arabic, keep forming sentences every now and then. It doesn't matter if you are wrong. Of course, you have to be wrong. You must be wrong before you can be right. And that's part of learning. Being wrong is part of learning. So you start thinking about that, thinking about Arabic and all of that. So by the time you start communicating, it will not be strange to you because already you've communicated in your brain. You've thought about a lot of things in your mind. You've written it down and all of that. So it will be easy for you to move faster. So I taught a student maybe some 5 years ago. He was in Texas at the time, and subhanallah, he learned maybe like 6 to 1 year, from me. And now today, whenever he calls me, he stopped learning. We have completed learning anyway. So whenever he calls me, we speak literally in Arabic. And we move, we flow in Arabic, nothing 30 to 1 hour, just discussing live and gisting, all of that. So how did he reach that level? While I was teaching him, in fact, he would show me his room. His room is fixed with stickers of vocabularies. Okay, he learned this word, he's gonna write it down in stickers, paste it around all his house, all his room. And he was married at the time. He was married, he's got family. But he has the himmah, he has the how do I put that? The strong affinity, the strong decision that I need to know this, I must know this. So he kept practicing, he kept every word, every day, every day. He's gonna do all of that so that you can remember. But even though you cannot do that, start little thing you can do. Think in Arabic. How am I supposed to say this? Put it down, and then get yourself corrected. These are the things that we need. So I think you understand what I'm trying to say. So this is one of the ways to learn. So please do not, whenever I'm asking questions in class, please talk. Think about, ask questions. Okay, so we can discuss further. Your questions can take us to places where we have not been. And then when we explain a little bit, it's going to help you before even you get there personally or properly. So please, this is the way to learn. May Allah make it easy. We drop the pen here. And I want you to, this is a class work. You translate these expressions from 1 to 10, 1 to 12 to be submitted to the group. This is your number 4 assignment. The ones I ask you to find their plurals, please do it. It's not for me, but for you. You've got to do it. And you have to submit as well. But this is assignment number 4. That one is not necessarily an assignment that you must submit, but you have to do it. And of course, you have to submit, please. Because if you do it, that means if you submit, that means you do it. If you don't submit, it means you probably don't do it. So please, let's try to help ourselves. I'm saying this program is 1 year. Trust me, even if you follow the procedure we follow, if you attend classes, if you practice, you do what I just said, you do, keep, challenge yourself, think every time about Arabic, you would find yourself learning and speaking and understanding Arabic within 1 year. Arabic is wide. It's not something anyways that you can learn everything within 1 year. We are not planning to teach you everything within 1 year. No one is saying you will learn everything. No. But you learn enough to speak. You learn enough to understand. You learn enough to continue on your own and learn a lot of things on your own. We give you the major things, the things that are necessary for you to speak Arabic, to think in Arabic, to understand Arabic, and all of that. And that's what we're doing. That's what the program is all about. So, but you need to help yourself along the way. If you don't help yourself, you find yourself not learning anything or not even improving within the span of time. So we're going to help you anyways, but you have to help yourself as well. And so that you can excel. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy and grant us the knowledge as we deserve. So any question? So before we go? Okay, so if there's
please, is it okay for me to, if I don't know a word, quickly, as I'm trying to speak and I don't know what to say, quickly check. I have an app that I just type in and then it gives me the Arabic. Is it okay? I'm just deceiving myself.
Okay. Do you mean in class or anywhere else?
No, I mean at home, trying to speak with my kids.
Yeah. It's part of learning. No. It's part of learning. If you don't know any word, you consult it. But just ensure that when you consult that word, when you speak it, when you learn it at that moment in time, next time, you don't have to check it again. Make sure that it becomes something you know already. You master it. And how do you do that? You try to repeat that word you check, repeat a few times, say it a few more times, say it repeatedly every time. And then that words belong to you already. So it's good, it's cool. Just keep learning that. It is a part of learning too. And you discover that the words that you check through, that you use it, the moment you check it, you use it immediately, it has become yours. you're likely not to forget it because application matters. So you learn something, you apply, learn, apply, then you find out those words, coming back to you and staying firm into your memory. So please continue. Is a good system of learning. Barakallahu fiqh. It's a good system of learning. Okay. So
Jazakallah.
yeah, وأنت فجزاك الله خيرا. Okay, so inshallah we stop right here because it's been over an hour. Just exactly an hour. So the recording is an hour long. All right, so inshallah we stop here and we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for us and grant us full understanding.